Hello, my name is Zeke, and today I'm here reviewing the Dreamworld Coke. It's the full sugar version. Uh, to begin, I want to I want to emphasize it's important to remember that the American imperial capital empire is continuously always looking for new areas of exploitation. Colonialism is primarily concerned with resources, but not all resources are physical. Sometimes colonization moves beyond the physical and into the metaphysical or experiential areas of our lives. It's not just a physical thing that sits, it invades all spaces. Soda is one of the principal American historical inventions. It's one of the few things that we have created locally, in our interior, and spread among the world. It's one of our most powerful exports, and very importantly, one of our most powerful cultural exports. Think of the global ubiquity of the Coca-Cola company, for instance, and the Coca-Cola company's imagery, the red background, white text, cursive font, all of that. All of their Christmas imagery, all of the polar bears, everything associated with it. If you recall, the Coca-Cola company is one of the few companies allowed an exception to the import of coca leaves. Again, tying back the capital and imperial empires. If you've paid attention, you might have noticed that American soda companies have been slowly extending beyond classically American flavors, lemon lime, etc., things that we have locally, and into flavors that are characteristic of the global South and the East. Dr. Pepper has a lot in common with Szechuan plum juice, for instance. Mountain Dew Voltage, introduced in 2008, contains ginseng as a primary flavor element. And while it's not clear if that ginseng is American ginseng, which was used as herbal medicine by Native Americans, not so commonly used by the white colonists, could also be Korean or Chinese ginseng. But in any of these three cases, the influence is clear. And if that's not particularly convincing to you, Mountain Dew also released a goji berry flavor in 2017. Again, from the East. So the soda industry apparently has not been satisfied with plumbing the depths of physical flavors. And that's where the Coca-Cola Experiences line comes in. By mixing the chemical flavorings in heretofore unseen combinations, they're able to introduce these abstracted flavors, ones that bear no actual relation in their marketing to the food or drink that we regularly consume. Of course, for all practical purposes, they do, because flavoring is chemical and chemical is interpretable. Your mind creates these associations with certain chemical experiences, and while a combination might not be specific to a singular food or beverage, they are still something that you have experienced in some capacity or another. It's important to remember, though, that Coke's intentionality here is to colonize spaces in our minds that were previously reached by our own experiences in the world, rather than a specifically marketable product that they can package and sell. The Dreamworld Coke is the third such flavor in this line of experiences, after Starlight and Bite, respectively flavored like space and pixels per their marketing. And in doing so, Coke is making their goal clear. They wish to colonize the realms of our dreams, of our minds, to turn these deeply private experiences into something saleable in public. So, let's get into it. All right, just opened this bottle here. Smells good. Smells good, excuse me. The nose of the Dream Coke is not super dissimilar from classic Coke. There's still an acidic note to it, but it's not as sharply acidic as classic Coke. And instead, that kind of nose at the front, notes at the nose at the front, is replaced by something that you might describe as like a tropical melange chewing gum. It's very sweet, less acid, and sweet in a tropical sense. Okay, let's give this a taste. On a level of pure experience, it's delicious. It's notably sweeter on the tongue than Coke Classic, again, since it lacks the strong phosphoric acid note that's at the front of a traditional cola. It's probably, if you had to draw a connection to another beverage in the industry, if anyone has had the Mango Pepsi, That's been available for at least a year now, and that's very similar. There's a strong sweetness at the front that is, again, I might pitch mango as like the main flavor element. But when I first had mango Pepsi, I was surprised how good the combination of mango and cola sat together. This is extremely drinkable. I like it quite a lot. Again, the mango appears to be the primary body of added flavor, but there's other notes that are kind of more difficult to interpret. But again, I would say it's more akin to the kinds of flavors that tend to go into a tropical mixture of fruits. You know, there might be a little bit of kiwi, there might be a little bit of lychee, other things that are from that kind of milieu that go into this. There might be other candy elements as well beyond gum. I've heard a couple of people describe it as a cotton candy adjacent, but I can kind of squint and see that. But cotton candy I would describe as like largely a texture experience in the way that it interacts with the saliva in your mouth, rather than a flavor one. So I'm not really sure that I would call it, a component of this. All in all, in a vacuum, this cola is delicious. I would drink it, and I would drink it consistently. The Coke Zero version, which I have already had, is essentially just as good as this. The flavor is remarkably similar. If you can bear the taste of artificial sweeteners, it's good. It's more than good. I personally find artificial sweeteners a little bit strange, but it's still more than drinkable. But if you take it out of that vacuum and into the larger context, Coke has launched a salvo that started a while back with the Starlight flavor and has continued on with this. And this salvo on the consumer identity hits us dead in the chest, and most of us will never notice that.